Hey guys, welcome back to Chewacla State Park here in Auburn, Alabama. If you were following my channel back then, and it was a long time ago, you can probably remember that the last time I was here, this happened.
Okay, now it's hitting me. The rain has arrived.
Well, that is most definitely it for this park for today. There is absolutely nothing that I can do. So today, the weather is not looking that great, but I hope to get redemption from the rain and be able to actually get some footage here. So let's go for it.
So I have no idea where we're going, but let's just figure it out along the way. So we parked today at the top trailhead, and I don't know if that's exactly the best place to park. I feel that at the end of the day, we're gonna have to finish the ride on the way up. But the good thing is we get to start by dropping into high gravity without pedaling up the first time. So the wooden features are pretty wet, so you're gonna see me skipping them today. I'll hit them at some other point, maybe later. I think they're dry. Nope. They're pretty wet.
Located in Auburn, Alabama, it's pretty amazing how much elevation there is at Chewacla State Park, especially when you realize how far south the park actually is, sometimes labeled as the last foothills of the Appalachians. While you won't find massive mountains here, the terrain sports a nice up and down feel that allows for some fast-flowing sections that feel like they have a lot more elevation than they actually do. Not to mention, it's an absolutely beautiful place. While it wasn't raining once we got there, a short storm had rolled through the area a few hours prior. I hoped to someday get to ride Chewacla in completely dry conditions, but today wasn't going to be that day. Trails were not wet enough to hurt, but the wooden features, which are abundant in the network, were a definite no-go.
It's slippery today, no doubt about it. Oh, my f***ing phone. I always get a spam call like around 9 a.m. every single day. So the nature of the terrain is definitely up and down. That is slippery. Whew. Slippery as the grip is there. I freak out. Drop. Wood. Oh, shit. And this is where I get off. It's too wet for that. And behold, the forbidden zone. That's insane. Yep. That's a firm no.
This should give you an idea of how big the gap is. The rest of the jump line actually seemed quite manageable. We decided, however, not to stay and session them, as the dirt still seemed a little bit too wet. We instead decided to make our way towards the lower sections of the park. While traversing over, the terrain is not as steep. You will be able to maintain your speed up by pumping and pedaling, but the feel is definitely different than that from the top section.
You can probably hear that I'm having to pedal here and there to keep my speed up. It's not a very steep trail. Pretty cool.
As you approach the middle of the park, you'll find a plethora of wooden features, among which was an awesome looking wall ride. I took a quick glance at it and it looked kinda dry, but I guess I misjudged that.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. It sucks because everything that's made out of wood is way too wet to ride. Missing out on most of the fun.
Well, I don't know if most. The park was still a lot of fun, but it is something for you to consider when you're watching this. The rain kinda made us not make the place justice with this video. Had it been drier, there would have been more features to play on, as the park has many small fins, kickers, rollers, and bridges that are made out of wood that do add a lot to the experience.
Whoa, that's steep.
The only real downside to this section is that it had numerous intersections that looped upon themselves, so it was pretty easy to either get lost in the loop or to deja vu into thinking you were in one.
Man, this is tough.
After heading back for a quick lunch, we decided to have a few more runs at the trails near the top parking lot, including some that we had missed the first time around, which despite being marked as multi-use trails, showed some significant challenge due to being a lot more natural and off-camber.
Follow me, guys. Have a good time.
It's doable. It's just,
I think this is a runoff. This isn't a trail.
well, it was a fun runoff. So it turns out we were riding a water runoff instead of a trail. I don't know, it looked like fun.
I'm still not 100% sure if that was a runoff or a trail, but there were some trees down blocking the path that looked placed on purpose, so we decided to turn back. We did eventually find a trail that went close to it, so we ventured onto that one instead.
That was close. I lost my footing completely. Off camber, super off camber.
We ended the day with one last ride down high gravity. It probably ended up being my favorite trail there. Gobs of speed and plenty of optional features.
What a difference versus this morning. Now that it's dry.
Well guys, that's going to be it for me for today. We will eventually get to come here on a dry day and hit all those wooden features that we missed out on. In the meantime, I hope you had fun with me, and I will see you for the next one. Happy riding!
Okay, I'm done.